See, I'm riding high. Whoa.
Player, give me some brew and I might just chill. But I'm the type that like to light another joint like Cypress Hill. I still do be spit loogies when I puff on it. I got some bucks on it, but it ain't enough on it.
I got 5 on it. Kinda broke the scene, y'all. So all I got is 5. I got 5.
I take it back and make it shine one time, cause I know you niggas never seen a grind like mine. I know my rep is crucial, I wrote the fucking rule book, and now I'm here to do my thing, and what you gon' do, bro?
Ain't no game, smile on my face even through the pain.
You know I don't play, right?
Ooh, see, I'm riding high. I got 5 on it.
What's good, everybody? We're just having audio issues trying to do remote today. Give us a second, please. Dope, you there? Well, as you know, another week, another dynamic episode we have for you.
Yo, what's good? What's good, family?
There you go.
Yeah. Little technical difficulties today. Apparently, some powers that be don't want us to have this show today. But it's all good. It's all good. How you doing, though?
I'm doing fine. Another grandiose week on this side of the world.
Of course, of course. As they say, any day above ground is a blessing, right?
Hey, if you bleed, if you can breathe, give thanks. If you can't, well, I don't know what to say, but I know the end of that one. That is the end, huh?
I guess. Yeah, so it's going to be a very good show, very good day. We're going to have some laughs. It's going to be a great show, as y'all know, we keep plugging this. April 11th, Yuck Mouth, Peoria, Arizona. Get your tickets. This is a limited engagement, meaning that there's going to be a limited amount of folks that will be able to enter, and we are expecting it to be sold out. So get your tickets in advance. At least if you get your tickets, I can guarantee your entry. Not to mention Drew. His show is this Saturday at the Love You Club. It's Get Lucky with R&B. I mean, yesterday was St. Patty's Day, right? So Get Lucky with R&B. That's going to be Saturday. Doors open at 7. Make sure y'all in the building for that. That's going to be an epic night. Epic night. You got anything going on?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about that a little bit. I mean, we got shows every month that's going on. You got that one for March. You got yours coming out in April. I mean, that's oh my gosh. We got some stuff going on, stuff coming up.
Spring is going to be great, and summer is going to be greater. That's all I can say.
Or as the old folks say, gooder and gooder.
Gooder.
Gooder and gooder.
Oh, wow. I've never heard that before. Day in my life. Oh, wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, so we got a couple of funny videos that I want to show just to give you a laugh, right? Because that's what the show is about. All about entertainment, all about love, all about laughs, but we do touch on some serious things as well. So Pocket, should we talk about Urge real quick?
Yeah, the guy with the I think it's a Jeep. Jeep. It's a Jeep, yeah. Yeah, the guy was
Man, so we're just gonna caption this video by saying hurts mark your days. Oh man, this is gonna be a great video. So yeah, y'all just tune in real quick and we'll be right back.
It hurts. Count y'all days, y'all. Count y'all days. Made my reservation for my rental car because I got to a little quick fender bender. Look what they decide to fucking give me. You see all that shit I gotta do to get in here? Then she gonna ask me if I can drive it.
Oh wow. Like dude's what, 4'2", 4'7".
Here's what I'm trying to understand. Why would you give one of Santa's elves a full-size sleigh?
Oh, I guess he was trying to get back to the North Pole.
I mean, I get it, right? But you gave him a full-size sleigh.
Man, bro. Like, my man literally had to climb in. He didn't even have no steps.
He couldn't get back to his pot of gold.
Oh my god, man! That I saw that video. I was dead weak, bro. I couldn't contain myself, and he had every reason to be mad.
Oh yeah, that yeah. I mean,
Oh man, that's like one time. Of somebody that I knew, they had rented a vehicle. They were on vacation, right? And you know, a lot of these rental companies are trying to push EV vehicles as far as renting them out and stuff like that. And so his whole thing about it is that he didn't want an EV vehicle because, for one, he had an Airbnb and he didn't know if the Airbnb was going to be equipped with like the charging station, so on and so forth. So when he made the reservation, he specifically requested not to be put in an EV. What do you think they did? It's horrible, bro. Horrible. So yeah, he said hurts. On mark your days. They're pretty short, ain't they? Them days go pretty short. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that, was I? My bad.
that's a long conversation.
So those that are tuning in, there is a specific age group I want to talk to you guys about right now. And that is the age group that remembers the Incredible Hulk era. Do you remember the Incredible Hulk era?
Well, you gotta see. Here's the thing: when you say Incredible Hulk, you gotta remember the new
The
Hulk.
drink. Let me spread the drink. The drink. Yeah. Not the comic book guy, the actual drink. You know what I mean? I don't know. Did you partake in the Incredible Hulk era?
So I guess I have to give the disclaimer once again. I've never been a fan of Hennessy.
Okay.
Nor Hypnotic.
And agree with you on that one too. Okay.
Now,
So I would say that no, you never had one.
no, I was gonna say no. I did. Somebody did try to tell me it would make the Hennessy taste better, and that was a lie.
It really was. It made it taste sweeter and stronger. But whatever.
I don't know about sweeter. It was disgusting. So
The hypnotic is what made it disgusting. You know what I mean? Now,
the Hennessy was disgusting already. The hypnotic didn't make it any better. So
it really didn't. And that whole hypnotic phase, like I even remember they had hypnotic blunt wraps. I was like, okay, yeah, now y'all getting a little bit too out of hand with it. But those that remember um the hypnotic era, the hypnotic Hennessy era, it made what we call Incredible Hulk. Well, there's a gentleman that wanted to celebrate the 20-year anniversary of the Incredible Hulk. Let's just go ahead and play it. Let's just play it. Let's just play it.
So today I went to the liquor store and I decided I'm going to take it back to 06, 07, and I am going to make myself an Incredible Hulk. Yes, I got the smaller bottles because number one, I don't drink Hennessy and I don't drink Hypnotic. I used to tear these down in the club and be dancing my ass off. What did I really see in these things? I'm gonna find out today. First you put your Hypnotic in there, then you put your Hennessy in there. You're gonna give it a good stir. It's like somewhat green, but not really green. Woo. Whew. That's a lot stronger than what I remember. This Hulk is starting to take hold, man. Pegos kid, bang. Pegos kid, bang. Yeah, Pegos kid, bang, bang. Ah! You know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Do you know the Muffin Man? Ah! Ah! Ah!
I just want to ask a question. Do you know
No, the Muffin Man?
Do you?
Muffin Man. No, I seriously, my question is, did you hear that nigga's kneecaps break?
My man dropped on the floor. Yeah, he gonna be out about.
You heard it, my guy. As soon as he hit the ground, yeah, he used to be dancing and putting them back. Man, that was 20 years ago, sir. I mean, 20 years ago. So that means your knee.
8 weeks.
Your knees is 20 years older, sir. Yeah. But yeah, do you know the Muffin Man after you crack the knees? That's what I want to know. Man.
I mean, you heard it go.
You heard it. You heard it. And then you wonder why he was crying. Because he couldn't get
It just got me. He was doing hip hop to the Muffin Man. They're doing crying his tears out, listening to praise and worship. Back to the Muffin Man. Busted kneecaps. I mean, come on.
Hey, that Incredible Hulk literally took him all the way around the world, right? Oh, she said, WD-40 those knees. Oh God, that was the highlight of the day right there. You have the comment of the day. I'm sorry. Comment of the day. Applause. Yes. Round of applause. Man. She said WD-40 them knees. Damn. Okay. All right.
It just took me out. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man.
Like out of all the songs, out of literally all the songs, what made you pick that one?
He was trying to find the Muffin Man to help pick up them knees.
Oh man, dude. So I actually saw a little video. This one is a little lengthy of a video, though. I will preface it by that. But it's interesting what this individual talks about. He's Michael Jackson's nephew, and he literally explains how somebody can be financially broke, right? But in other ways are so wealthy, right? That there's a saying, I'm worth more dead than I am alive. And there are some cases where that proves to be true, because we hear all the time that there are artists and musicians and they die broke, but their body of work or their catalog of work is worth so much money. Correct. So it's interesting what he says, how he depicts it, and how he describes it. That I do want to play this for you guys, and I want to get your guys' opinion on what you may think about that.
I'm gonna say it out there straight for everybody listening. My uncle didn't die. He was murdered. I feel the same thing about Prince. We're losing a lot of stars because you have to remember, these are basically insurance policies. When he dies, whatever was owned by the company reverts back. We're not talking about $100,000. We're not talking about $1 million. And everybody in this room knows $1 million, I don't care if you're a normal person, ain't getting you shit. After taxes, you still got to live the same. You still got to stack your money. But when my uncle died, we're talking about billions of dollars. Can you imagine if Prince, when he died, sold little red Corvette to Chevy? Woo. Let's just say, you think about it.
Yeah.
They say Prince died broke. How do you die broke with $1 billion catalog? If he would have sold 3 songs, he'd have had a couple $100 million sitting in his pocket to play with.
Yeah.
All he had to do was, here, take these 3. I got the catalog of the rest.
Right.
Notice that when my uncle dies, why do you hear all his music? Why is there a Motown cartoon out now? A, B, C,
Right.
easiest. Okay, well, obviously, when my uncle was alive, he wasn't giving the rights to anybody. But when he dies, all of a sudden, oh my goodness.
Is the family still benefiting from all of his music and his catalog?
When you say benefiting, I mean, I guess for this last name, because of what my father and them did, that is the benefit. That's the pride of standing for this last name, because, when I grew up, people don't understand. My father and them, they were around.
Yeah.
But then also when we were around, if we wanted to see him, we had to go to a show. So it wasn't like personal. We'd have to sit around in this, oh, hi, Pops, we love you. But then you got people coming and taking pictures and this and that and
Right.
this. So when we grew up, it wasn't even groomed. It was, we were told, you can't do this because of what's going to come back. So when you look at it, say, how can I say this, man? My uncle he was born in this business. He died in this business.
His whole entire life.
His whole entire life. So, when I sit here and I hear Wade and this other dude, let's be real. And I'm sitting at the table. Y'all can tell me how y'all feel. And I'm open to opinion. I've had horrible shit happen to me. And any of that horrible stuff, I've got rid of. I'm not going to keep. They showed Wade burning the pictures of Michael.
Yep.
And doing all this stuff. So why does the weirdo keep a ring? And let's be real. Like I said, Neverland was a toy for my uncle. You think my uncle's going to buy some little ring? This is a man who, for us as children, closed down malls.
What he said was deep on so many, like, you could take what he said and dissect it, right?
Well, I'm going to debunk the first thing. Prince did not die broke, okay? I don't know where he got.
There's rumors that are out there, right? There's rumors that are out there that, he died broke. Yeah, correct.
He did not die broke. Okay, so I hate when people start off with stuff like that because that means that he's got a hidden agenda, meaning he's trying to create some what I want to say, create a talk behind him, which he should have just focused on his uncle. I'm just gonna say that he should have just focused on his uncle because bringing Prince into it, no. I mean, I know offhand that Prince I think had 67 10-ounce gold bars.
Correct. And that's why he said they want to say that Prince died broke. He's not saying that Prince died broke. He's saying that they want to say that.
Here we go with this day again. I've never even heard anybody say that. Never heard anybody say that.
I've seen those rumors online when he at first died, and it was debunked by them saying, yeah, well, he wasn't broke when he owned his own masters. He owned his own studio. He owned what was it called in Minnesota that he got, where they actually got the whole block as a historical landmark in honor of Prince. I forgot what it's called, but he did a lot of work out of there, and even he had like private shows there too. I forgot what it was called. So yeah, on face, yeah, you're absolutely right. He was not broke, but they did try to say that about Mike, and Mike even came out about the industry talking about Sony and Tommy Mottola and all them.
Paisley Park, that's what it was called.
Paisley Park, that's what it's called. Yes. But yeah, even like you said, in all honesty and good taste, he should have just focused on his uncle. And with Michael, there was so much controversy there to begin with. And honestly, I started thinking about it and going through the timeline when he really bought not only his masters, but 60% of the masters in that Sony had. He started speaking out about a lot of the corruption and the conspiracies that was going. He was even talking bad about Tommy Mottola, and we all kind of know his little history and stuff like that. And it's funny to me that when he started speaking out, that's when they started coming after him.
Yeah, but focusing on what his nephew was saying there, I mean, keeping the focus there. The only one I heard rumors about being broke was Michael. I will say that. Never heard that about Prince. Never heard that about Prince. Because they even said walking away, the state was 60. The house alone was like 25 million.
Yeah.
And then the 67 gold bars. So I don't know where they got that from. It was cash for his elaborate funeral was cashed out. You know, so yeah.
But even with Michael, I can't believe that he was broke. He might have not had a you know what I mean, fight. And this is and even taking the outside of the money aspect, right? There's a lot of people that we know to be billionaires that are broke, right? They're broke meaning, and when I say financially, meaning that they don't have that paper currency in their pocket like we always has, you know what I mean? But asset wise, they're worth so much money. You see what I'm saying? And so what Mike's nephew was saying is that, look, at the end of the day, when he was going on that final tour, when he was really starting to separate himself from the industry and really kind of going independent, he's trying to say that they killed him for that insurance policy. And we hear about those rumors in the rap game, that there's certain people that got knocked off because they were worth more to the label dead than what they were alive. We hear rumors that record labels take out insurance policies on artists. I mean, if more than one person is saying that, there must be some truth to it, right?
Well, I can tell you, it's not a rumor. That's actually a fact. They do. I mean, they want to, quote unquote, protect their asset. So they're going to protect it as much as they can to the point they don't need you anymore.
Correct. And then they'll knock you off. And we can say that about a few artists, even going back to 96 and 97, but we ain't going to talk about that.
You can go further back than that, man. You got Marvin Gaye.
I was gonna ask you about that too. I really wanted to, like, that's a conversation that I want to have with somebody about Marvin Gaye, because look, yeah, even Al Green too.
Al Green's not dead.
No, not Al Green. Who was the other one? I'm sorry. It was Marvin Gaye, and then there was somebody like just a couple of years after that that was a little bit suspect to me. I can't think of that name right now, but it'll come up to me. It will pop up to me. But yeah, it's crazy. Like even going to that saying, before you even go to that saying, let me ask you a question. Do you think Elvis Presley was knocked off?
Let's change that to say, do I care?
Okay.
You know how I feel about Elvis. So asking me anything about him,
No, it just popped in my head because you know, I mean, all that because what I'm about to say, I don't want to preface it on race, but I am going to say.
I'll answer that because he really wasn't worth that much alive. You think about that. He really wasn't worth that much alive. Look at the Beatles, how their catalog is worth how much.
Hey, but do you think that the Beatles catalog took more value when Michael bought it because Michael had it?
No, it's not.
And people, no, okay.
It was worth. I forgot how much it was worth when he bought it. That's how you know the man was never
like 28 million when he bought it, and now it's like literally almost like 100 million.
But that's the value in the music because the music is still being used. So
yeah,
I mean. It was funny how many songs they actually have that people have redone and yeah.
Nobody knows. Yeah, exactly.
Well, not even nobody knows. It's just that the new generation, oh man, that song's nice. Oh, you know, that's from the Beatles. So who? Who's that?
Yeah.
Did you play the original? It was like, oh man, it's that old. I'm like, yeah, it's that old.
Yeah. Very true. But what I was going to end up saying, and I didn't want to make it seem focused towards race, but I am, and I know how it's going to sound when I say it. But going to that old school saying that we've always heard in our community, we never should have gave you niggers money. That's how I feel with the music industry as what it is today. They want to capitalize the most that they can off of you, based off the ignorance of what you have. Once you start knowing what's going on,
because here's the thing, somebody will come back and say to you, well, what about sports?
Same thing.
So
you can put it in the same thing.
So
and here's the thing. Hey, here's the thing. As a sports player, you make more money than a rapper. Even Shaq even said it. He came out with 2 albums and they was fire. He said, I make more money playing 3 games of basketball than what I've made off the, you know what I mean, doing music, period. You know what I mean? So as far as an athlete, you get more money than what you would as an artist. So, but what it comes down to with the record industry, and I'm going to focus on hip hop because that's what I know more of. When record labels go into the inner cities and you are giving people that never had money before, and you're giving them money, a large lump sum of money, without providing them the correct structure. And you're throwing them out to the wolves, saying, yeah, just make the music, we'll put it out, we'll pay you, just do this, you do that. You become a cog in the system, and then you get wrapped up in Hollywood. You get wrapped up in that, especially if you don't know, because everything looks all glitz and glamour on the outside and so on and so forth. But then you get put in certain situations, and then financially, in the long run, you look at the numbers and it's like, y'all only gave me $1 million, but y'all just made 20 million off of me. Then once people start getting up on game and start really paying attention and really figuring out that they could do some of the stuff themselves without having to necessarily pay this person or be involved or aligned with this person and so on and so forth, when you start taking money out of those people's mouths, now they have a problem. or if you speak out on the injustice or the corruption of what's going on in said industry, then they speak, then there's a problem. You got to rip. They want to blackball you. We see that in with actors too, not just in the music industry, but with actors too. Terrence Howard being one of them. And it's just crazy and I call it Holly weird for a reason. And people don't understand that. On the outside, it looks good. But if you really been in there and seen some of this stuff, like you look and be all like, you would ask yourself if your soul is being in question based off what you're doing and who you're aligning yourself with. Now, I don't know if you agree with that or not, Pocket, but that's just my point, my perspective on it.
Well, you said you did threw a lot out there because you started talking about with well you said you want to focus on the hip hop industry, right? With how they give you money but they don't give you guidance or anything like that. And I combat that with whose fault is that?
So you take an inner city person that's used to having to hustle just to be able to survive, and then you cut them a check for $1 million and say, I want an album out of you, and without providing them with guidance or structure on how you should budget this money. And here's the thing that a lot of artists don't know when they get involved with record labels. Any advance that they give you up front, that's exactly what it is, an advance. So they're expecting to get that money back, i.e. through sales, merchandise, however they're going to market you. And if they can't get that investment back, guess what? You owe that money back. So you get that $1 million up front, but yet you want to go and buy a Bugatti, or you want to sit back and buy all this jewelry, and you're not doing nothing sustainable with that money. You're screwing yourself, and the record label is expecting you to do that. He's speechless.
I'm not speechless. I'm just not talking. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Because here's what you basically just said. The biggest conspiracy is that the record label just are giving you money and then expect you to blow it. No, they expect you to do what you will. Like, you're going to do what you know, unless you want to learn different.
Correct.
So you can't sit there and put on a record label to give you money, then give you the way to invest it and spend it. That's not the way life works. It never works that way, unless it's your family. And then even then, they've got a hidden agenda. So it's up to you to educate yourself. I came from the streets. They gave me $1 million deal, and I signed it. No lawyer. Oops, whose fault is that?
True. True.
So you can't blame the business for your dumb mistakes. You can't do that. You can't.
No, I'm not blaming the business. What I am saying is that at the end of the day,
you're holding the business responsible for trying.
You gotta hold yourself responsible to know that, hey, they gave me $1 million, right? I need to rest assured, right, that in a storm or whatever happens, if it doesn't work out the way that it is, like, nobody's going to give you $1 million. And we all know nobody's going to give you something for nothing. We all know that, right? So in protecting yourself, even in the streets, nobody going to front you a P if they don't want nothing back. You get what I'm saying? So if you know that, then play the game smart. Don't be all like, well, I want to be a rapper. There's a lot that comes with that, especially if you're trying to go in the industry. They're like, yeah, and you're exactly right. That's what it comes down to. Educate yourself. I just feel like the major heads try to target the more impressionable ones rather than the more knowledgeable ones, if that makes sense.
But they don't know knowledge. If you know knowledge, they don't know that. That's what I'm saying. You act like they're going to sit there and hang out in the corner, and then some kid walks down the street on a street corner rapping like, man, that's the next one. That's not how that happens. You get discovered, yeah. You get discovered, but you get discovered from this person that knows this person that knows this person that goes down the line. And then also, if you're lucky, you come from a lineage
social
of
media. You could blow up with one song if you goes viral. Yeah, I get that aspect.
So
I do.
Especially in this day and age. So the powers that be, all they're going to do is like, well, let's see if he's going to take this. They're going to throw a carrot at you, see if you're going to take it.
And I can't necessarily always blame 100% on the record labels, and the reason why is because music changes, and when music changes, and when I'm talking about music changing, I'm specifically talking about like how it's broadcasted. Like, let's think about it. Back in the day, they had 8 tracks and vinyls and all that. Then they went to cassettes and then CDs. And then everybody had the little, what was it? Apple Nanos or whatever it was, the iPods or whatever. And now everybody is streaming so like, when times change, I get the industry has to change as well, especially if it's a business. So they got to find a way to make their money. But the artist has always been the lowest man on the totem pole, and they are creating the art. So, I mean, that's the only thing that I don't like about the industry. Artists really don't get paid their value for what they create. Now, if they had like a producer and a songwriter and this, that, and everything, I understand that, right? But if you're an artist that actually sat back and created this and created that, but you're relying on the label to put it out and put you on a certain type of platform, that shit costs money, and they gonna make sure they make their money back.
But as you said, the times have changed. So a lot of these record labels, they're what I want to say, they're buffering everything now. They're starting to buffer, and what I mean by that is that $1 million, because they know $1 million ain't going to get you nothing, and that's what everybody's really realizing. The record labels know now, well, I got to put a buffer in there for something. All right, let's see. Let me see what you can do. Oh, you're only able to rap. You can't write. You can't do anything like this. Okay, you're going to get the lowest amount. Now, you are going to be the lowest on the totem pole. But if you can, what's I going to say? If you can write your stuff, produce it, you can cut it all yourself. Guess what? You're going to get all that money because they were like, well, I don't need to pay a sound engineer. You can do it yourself. I don't need to pay so-and-so a producer. You can do it yourself. Oh, what? You know exactly how to shoot your own video? You got your own people? Well, you know what? Here's your budget. Work with it. That's what's happening now. The less people they have to pay, oh boy, they're gonna give you a nice little check. They're gonna get to make sure that, hey, here's your budget. Don't go over it. If you was gonna come out your end.
Yep, exactly. And at the same time, and this is what people don't understand and realize when it comes down to it. Producing music, yes, it does cost money. But to put it out there and to really get it to the masses, get it to influencers, getting it to prominent DJs, and even with radio and this, that, and everything else, right? There's a lot more money that is invested in promotion, marketing, and publicity than there is in you creating that record. So that's why the record label, if you're dealing with the record label, has their hands in the pot and they getting a good chunk of that money. Yeah, you created it, but it's their money that's putting it all out there. It's their money that got you the connection, that you got a contract with Live Nation to where you could go on tour. You know what I mean? They're not going, 9 times out of 10, they might not touch your tour money, but they're going to get your percentage of your merchandise. They're getting a percentage of your royalties. And that's even if you don't own your own publishing. Because if you got
with merchandise, right? And this is the funniest thing you say that. A lot of the record companies, the only merchandise they really care about are shirts, shorts, and hats. The most popular things you see. Now, if you get somebody else to do it for you, Because the reason why they're getting a cut of it, because they're the ones making it. Unless you make it yourself and you can sit there and say, hey, this is on my name, and don't change your name. That's the biggest problem. That's why Prince changed his name. You want to talk about artists that were genius? They own the name Prince. They own it because that was never his real name. They gave him that name. They own it. That's why he changed it to the symbol, the artist formerly known as. And they couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't do anything about it. And then they settled and get like, you know what? Okay, we'll give you the name, because they were losing money when he changed his name. They lost so much money in that. They tried to take him to court. They said, well, he legally did the right thing. There's nothing you can. You own Prince. You don't own the man. You own the name.
Yep, pretty much. Yep. So I mean, and there's and that's the thing that people got to understand and realize, especially when it comes to the industry. Period. Not just industry, but business. Period. Right. There's a lot. I've always said this: for every rule, there's a loophole. There's a loophole to every rule. So to protect yourself, make sure that you do, like we've always said, do your research, study up on stuff. Make sure that you double verify the information, and make sure that once you verify the information, that it's in the perspective and it aligns with your values of what you're trying to do yourself. Period. If you don't do that, then unfortunately, anything that you deserve everything that happens to you, good, bad, or indifferent. Period.
Well, here's another thing. You can't just do your own research. You can't do all that stuff. There's other things you need to do. One of the other things is you have to change your environment. Some of the people that you have with you don't need to be around you because they're not good for you. They're not good for you. That's what happens in the entertainment industry. A lot of those people, they try to bring their homies along, and it just doesn't work. It does not work. If they don't grow with you, they can't go with you. It's just that simple.
And it's not just even in the music entertainment. We see that in sports, specifically boxing.
That's why I specifically said entertainment. All of that is under the umbrella of entertainment, even sports.
Okay.
What are they doing? They're entertaining the masses. So it's all entertainment. It's all entertainment. That's why I said you have to change your environment, or you'll end up worse off than when you first started. And the first person that came to mind when I say that is Adrian Broner. Worse off than when he started. He surrounded himself with the wrong people.
And that's why you see, like, especially with a lot of fighters, they end up changing camps and everything else like that. For example, there's a lot of fighters that come in with family training them. Fathers, brothers, this, that, and everything else. And it's good while it lasted, right? Because they get you to a certain point, right? But once you get to that point, there comes a time where you get stuck. And it's like, in order to move forward, you're going to have to change some things, right? And that might be, like you said, changing your environment and changing who you're around, what you do, how you do it, and who you with. It all comes down to that. I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Here's the thing, though. You can't really say that with boxing, because I've got 4 people right off the hand I can label that are doing outstanding with their corners.
No, I'm not saying all, but we've seen some, right?
Only one that comes to mind. It's only one that comes to mind.
But there's also one that comes to mind that you've even told me that he needs to get away from his father, as far as from boxing and him coaching him and everything else like that. You was like, his father's holding him back. It wasn't Spence. Who the hell was it?
It's Teofimo.
Teofimo, yep.
That's why I said you basically talked over me and didn't listen. I said there's only one that comes to mind for me, and I never said his name, but I said it's only one. That's Teofimo. Everybody else is thriving. Shakur's family doing great. The Haney family.
Even in the past, we've seen people change corners that would have family members. There was one that had his brother as a cornerman or something like that. Not maybe I think it was the trainer or the coach, one of the two, and he had to get rid of his brother. Who was that? It was a Mexican fighter too. This was back in the early 2000s. Damn, the name escapes me right now. But yeah, we've seen it happen.
But here's the thing: I'll say this about boxing, what you can do, and this has been, I like what Ryan Garcia's did. I'm going to use Henry Garcia for a minute because he took Ryan as far as he could, right? Then he said, you know what? This is as far as I can take you, son. I can't get you over that hump. He had him go train with Canelo, Eddie Reynoso. Sorry, not Canelo, but Eddie Reynoso. He had him go train with Errol Spence's former cornerman. I can't think of his name right now. He had him go train with different people, but then ended up at the very end, he took all that stuff he learned and look at the fight he just had when he went back to his dad. So sometimes that's what you need. You just need to change your palate for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Get that hunger back, and then come on back home. And then also, as you're learning, guess what? They're learning as well. They learn how to get better. How do they get better? But does that happen every time? No, it does not.
No.
Sometimes it gets to the point where the person gets so full of himself, Brian Norman Sr., perfect example. That's another good example where he got mad because his son fired him. Come on, man, you ain't gonna do nothing without me. I'm like, bro, did you see what happened in my fight?
Yeah.
Like you didn't give me any good advice, so I had to make changes. That's why I think Teofimo, you can still have your dad there with you. That's fine, but he should not be your head trainer. He should not be your head trainer. You need to go. I think he would do great under the Eddie Reynoso camp because of the type of fighters. He's very awkward fighting. He's not traditional. He's kind of like a Roy Jones in the aspect of you can't really tell where he's coming from. It's just that he fought a superior IQ boxer and who picked him apart. Shakur picked him apart. Shakur picked him apart from pillar to post, picked him apart from round 1 to round 12. Could he have knocked him out? He should have knocked him out because he had the opportunity. He just didn't take advantage of it. And that's a story for another day.
Because I got questions about, because I'm like, I know he could have, but I think he chose not to.
No,
for some reason.
No, the thing is, he didn't put his foot on the pedal. He just kept taking his foot off the gas. And that's why. Okay. That's why after the match, if you go YouTube the after the behind the the after the match stuff where Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward, his two big brothers, were standing there and they were like, they looked at him like, why didn't you knock him out? We showed you what to do. You were doing it. You just chose not to knock him out. We're going to the gym. He's like, ain't you? Yeah, because Shakur wasn't even touched really. He's like, we headed to the gym right now. He was like, oh man. Like, yeah. So because they know for him to get where he should be, he's got to put his foot on.
He got to get that dog in him. Yeah, he's gonna have to get that dog in him
because he got to
get that hunger again.
No, it's not about that. They're preparing him because it's going to happen. The fight between him and Tank is definitely going to happen at some point in the next couple of years. And if he does not learn how to get that dog, he's gonna get this crap beat out of him.
Yeah, I do see that happening.
We all know
before we end up our show today, there is a little subject that I do want to bring upon, and again, the comments are going to be open, so we're going to be ready for this one. And it goes into the aspect of the title of the show, accountability. So there's a question I want to ask everybody, and I sent this to you earlier today, Pocket, but I'm going to do it a little different. Instead of asking the question directly the way that I did it, I'm going to put it in a scenario. So let's say an individual commits murder, doesn't get caught for it, doesn't get arrested, they don't go through trial, like nothing happens. They theoretically got away with murder, let's just say, right? Something happens, let's say a car accident. There's so much trauma that happens in that car accident that the individual that committed murder gets amnesia. They lose their memory. And they lost a good chunk of their memory. Now, some people would say that that's karma. Okay. The question that I have is, We all believe and know that when we die, that's what we call Judgment Day, where we got to stand forth and take accountability for our actions, or what we said, what we did, however case may be. In that scenario, do you think God would hold you accountable of your actions still, even if you have no memory or recollection of it? And I asked that question because, to me, again, this is just me. In order for somebody to be held accountable, they have to be knowledgeable and know of what their faults and transgressions were or are. And there are some people that go around doing things, don't know that they're doing wrong until you bring it up to them. But in a situation where you have somebody that has amnesia or Alzheimer's or dementia, and they can't remember what they did to be even held accountable for that, do you think God would still hold you accountable even though you don't even have a recollection of what you did? Just a question.
Well, here's the thing you got to understand. In the aspect, if you get memory loss, right, and you've murdered someone, I do believe the system is set up that you could be released. If they can truly prove that you have memory loss and you have no recollection of it, I do believe that the penal code, the penal system will let you go. They will keep you under watch, close watch, and you have to do checkups. But I mean, for the most part, they're going to let you go. I think they put you on. Well,
let's just say that you legit got away with murder. It was a cold case, unsolved murder. They couldn't pin it on you. They got no evidence. This, that. You legit got away with murder. But for some reason, a situation happens and you lose your memory of it. By God's standard, is God still holding you accountable, even though you have no memory of it to be held accountable to?
So here's the thing. I'm gonna leave you with Isaiah 55, 9 and 10. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than yours, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So why is he going to hold somebody accountable if his word says right there, my thoughts are not your thoughts? He's not man. He's above man. So he doesn't live by the same code and law. Okay, you got away with murder, but you don't remember it. So why is he going to hold you accountable?
Because even in the 10 Commandments, it said, thou shalt not kill. That's considered a heinous sin. Not just man, but by God's standards, right?
There's also thou shalt not fornicate. Thou shalt not commit adultery. There's also all those other things. People have been forgiven for those. So why, if you lost your memory specifically, you said if you lost your memory specifically, how is he going to hold you accountable for that if you don't remember it? You've already suffered. You got to remember, the number one thing about God, he forgives and he loves. But the key thing is, and I think this is what you're not saying, but you're trying to say, if you've never repented for it or you just basically let it wash under, what happens? Honestly, the only person that knows it's between you and him.
Correct.
And then at that point, it's just him.
Correct.
So how
and that right there, I'm glad you pointed on that, because that was the one thing that I was going back and forth when I was thinking about it. It's like, okay, you got away with it, right? But yet you never atoned. But yet, did you ever have an opportunity to atone because you lost your memory? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and then on top of that, there's a lot of what I call Bible bullies that are out there, right? That always got a scripture to speak. But we all know that just as much as you got one scripture, there's 2 or 3 other scriptures that contradict that one scripture that you're saying. And if you're dealing with an individual like myself, well, let's be real. The Bible was wrote by man. So how much of that can I actually, of what you're saying, hold true to life? My relationship with God and your relationship with God is two different relationships. Period.
I got a serious question for you. So what book on this earth wasn't written by man?
Correct. So my whole thing, no, I'm just saying I agree with you. They're all books was written by man. So how could we literally say that what they're saying in the Bible is 100% true? And on top of that, go and sit back and quote what Jesus said in the Bible. How do we know that's actually accurate? And the translation.
I didn't know if you were finished.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I didn't know if you were finished. Now keep cutting me off.
no, I'm like, it's just that there's certain things that I don't like about a lot of people that feel like they're more righteous than others. Right?
And here's the thing: you can't knock the Bible for what what the Bible boys are doing. Because if you're doing that, then you're not going to have any faith in anything. You might have faith in the wall behind you. You might as well have faith in the book, or sorry, the computer you're looking at right now. That's what your faith should be in. If you're going to sit there and knock someone for leading scripture, the whole thing is you combat a scripture with the scripture. That's exactly what you do. Or you ask them, come back with them. Don't even combat them. Just ask them, what makes you say that?
Correct. Or what makes you more righteous than me?
That scripture. And I say that because I was reading something the other day, or was it this morning? Might have been this morning. I was reading how this lady was giving a Bible out at a gym. That's what it was. Yeah, it was. It was a video I was watching.
She was gifting a Bible to somebody.
Yeah, she was giving Bibles out at the gym. Like she got permission to do that. So one person was kind of feeling down, came back to her and said, "Hey, thank you for this. Do you have a scripture for me about depression?" I think that's what it was. And the lady looked at it. And she was like, not right now. I'm trying to hand these Bibles out. Interesting.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, so, you just turned somebody away.
So no. So the thing is, the woman was like, oh, okay. So then something happened where the Bible that she had opened to a page with a scripture.
Correct. Yeah.
So she went back to the lady. Listen to that. She goes back to her, shows her that this is the scripture right here. Can you interpret this for me? What does this mean? Well, long story short, the lady couldn't read.
And on that note, folks, we are ending the show. God damn. Damn. Oh, Lord, help me. Forgive me, Lord.
Bro, I sat there. I was like, what? So you giving out a book and you
can't even read. And here's the thing about it. And it's funny that you mentioned this because even my pop said this. And my pops, he grew up in Tennessee. And if everybody know about Tennessee, that's part of the Bible Belt territory or whatever. He was telling me as he was growing up, the pastor of the church that he went to, when he turned 16 years old, he had to realize, and he stopped going to the church and told his mama that my grandmother, that he ain't going to the church no more. And my grandmother asked him why. And my pop said, because the pastor don't know how to read. They always got something to say, but they can't read. And the thing about it, I'm thinking to myself, okay, my father was born in the 60s. So that generation before him, that was a lot of the first generation of people that could start learning how to read. A lot of them didn't, especially in the South, right? And it's like, again, that thought process comes into my head as far as the difference between finding spirituality versus what's given to you as spirituality, if that makes sense. Like, you can't always rely on man's word. You got to seek yourself, if that makes sense.
Well, the key thing is that you don't rely on it, but you take heed to it because sometimes there's a message hidden in that word. There's a message
depending on who you get that message from.
No, it's always a message hidden in there, because the whole thing is God will put someone to say something, and what they may do is a word sandwich. You know what I'm saying? They'll say something that doesn't make any sense. They'll provide you with what you need, then say something else that doesn't make any sense. And then you're sitting there like.
So even with that bishop, that supposed bishop out of Brooklyn that's in prison right now, you honestly believe he had a message for some of them people?
Oh, I'm quite sure he had a message.
Yeah, give me your money.
Even in sin, there's a message. Remember,
you know, I do agree with you on that one. I definitely leave it right there. We're gonna end the note on that. We're gonna end the show on that. That right there. Yeah, correct. And that supposed bishop that want to see all y'all congregations tax forms because he feel like y'all playing with him.
Yeah, that was AI. That was AI. It was hilarious.
Dude,
I couldn't believe you said that. I had to look at it twice. I'm like, what? And then I researched, it was AI. I was like, yeah, because I'm about to say, because that's not something you do.
That was a very good deep fake, though. And very good. Anyway, folks, until next week, same back channel, same back time. Hope to see you there. Y'all be safe. Love each other this week. And we'll see you next week, y'all.
Are you a business owner or someone looking for more ways and avenues to advertise and promote? Look no further. Contact us today for an advertisement. Email PD&J Media Productions LLC at gmail.com for more info. Promotions are everything. What are you waiting for?